Hi, we're Group 1. I'm Practice Manager Max. Here's a fabulous picture of me. Nod. And I'm the practice manager of this lovely practice, Keppel Street. We've got a fantastic building. We've got 3 brilliant doctors. We've got Dr. James, Dr. Sarah, and Dr. Natalie. And we've got a pretty big team. Everyone gets on really well. Everyone's been here a long time. We've got low staff turnover, and things are pretty harmonious between the staff. So yeah, nice big thumbs up. However, we've got some challenges that we're facing. So we've got increased directives from on high, lots of demands for corporate involvement in corporate decision making, demands for audit, and I feel like every other week there's a new tome of paperwork to read for me. As well as that, I've also got a long line of patients who want to be seen. There's, it seems like everybody wants to be seen all the time. They look something up on YouTube, now they need to be seen today about it. So it's a big demand. So it's a challenging situation. And we found ourselves with a 3-week wait for routine appointments. So we decided we were going to have a meeting to deal with this. Because what we were having is people had to wait 3 weeks for a routine appointment. So they were using the emergency appointments to queue jump. So they come in and say, it's an emergency, I have to be seen now, and they jump the queue. So we instituted this plan of having a 2-minute rapid assessment emergency appointment. So you'd be seen for 2 minutes, and it's either it's an emergency, we'll deal with it all now, or it's not an emergency, you need to make a routine appointment to try and free up the system. So this was our plan that we agreed on 3 weeks ago in a practice meeting. It was a consensus. So here we are 3 weeks after implementation, and 2 of our GPs are doing a great job with this, no problems, it's all going really well. But one of our GPs, Dr. Sarah, seems to just think it's just quicker and easier if I do it now. So I'm going to take you through a little run through so you can have a little idea of the problem. So here we are today.
Oh, God.
Hello, good morning. How can I help you today?
Please, I want to see Dr. Sarah.
Dr. Sarah is not available at emergency appointment today. Would you like to see another doctor?
No, it's Dr. Sarah I want to see. She's my doctor.
Okay, I'm really sorry, but we have this new system in place now.
Do you know I'm not feeling too well, it's Dr. Sarah.
I
don't know
understand,
about your new
yes.
system.
Yes, I understand.
Nobody told me
But I'm
about
really
your
sorry.
system. No, I want to see Dr. Sarah, please.
I'm really sorry.
No, it's Dr. Sarah I want to see.
Morning, Dinah. How are you going?
Oh, hello, Doc. I have a little pain, please.
Oh, that's no good.
No, not at all.
Oh, I think I better see you then.
Please, you have to.
Okay, Daniel, do you think you could book Diana in to see me later today? I know I'm not on for emergencies, but...
Can I just pause things right here? Do you mind just having a seat? I'll be with you in a second.
Okay.
So,
I told you
can
my
I
doctor
have a
will see
quick
me.
word? Listen, you really have to not do that. She's huge on
But
the
she's making so much fuss, and, this 2-minute thing's ridiculous anyway. The patients just get upset, and, it's just easier if I see them for the full 10 minutes now and
Well,
sort
listen,
them out.
I think we need to have another longer conversation about this. Do you have time at the end of the day? Can we squeeze that in? That's okay. Are you okay, Daniel? You're right there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do my job.
Okay, you're doing brilliantly. Don't worry. I'll just have a quick word with Diana because
That's good.
I know how okay it can be. Diana, listen. We've instituted a new system. You might have been aware it's on the
No, nobody told me about it. I don't know about it.
I'm really sorry you don't know about it, but we do. It's because you'll be aware that there's a 3-week wait, or there has been. So we've instituted the system whereby patients who have an emergency get seen for 2 minutes by the doctor that's on call, and today that's Dr. Natalie, not Dr. Sarah. So if you want to see a doctor right now, you're going to have to see Dr. Natalie.
Did you hear I want to see Dr. Sarah, please?
Well, the only other option I can offer you then is, do you mind waiting till the end of surgery and we can try and squeeze you in then?
And I'll see Dr. Sarah?
Yeah, but that's going to be at about 1:30 possibly, and if there's an emergency between now and then, I can't guarantee it.
Well, it's Dr. Sarah I want to
So
see.
you're going to wait?
Whatever.
Okay, so guys, what would you do in this situation? What would you have done? You'd have sent the patient away? Hands up. Everybody else, keep the status quo. Okay. Well, anyway, I need to have a real think about what's going on here. Why is this happening? Dr. S thinks it's much quicker to do it now and it's not her fault with the PCTs, but why does she think that? I don't know why she thinks that. I thought we talked about it, but maybe, I suppose I never asked her directly, or maybe she just didn't feel confident about saying it in the group. Why didn't she feel confident about saying it, or if that's even the case? Maybe the environment, maybe the discussion we had wasn't good enough for the group, I don't know, or maybe it wasn't a conducive environment. Maybe, I know Dr. James talks a lot, or maybe I'm just too friendly. Maybe I'm not actively managing enough, and I think if we all have a group discussion, it's going to be resolved. So I think I better have that one-to-one with her and, you know, try and iron some of this out.
You want to take a word?
I did, yeah. I think, first of all, I really appreciate you taking the time today to talk about it, because I know you're super busy and I know it's been a really long day in the practice. I know I've had one. So would you be willing to discuss what you said this morning? Because,
About this
you're obviously not too happy.
Well, it's clearly not working. I mean, the patients are getting so upset. You saw this morning, kicking up all this fuss. This used to be such a nice practice, and now they've got, patients getting angry all the time. This 2-minute thing just doesn't seem to be working out. It's impractical. I mean, it's impossible to see someone in 2 minutes and then just tell them to go away. It's just easier to sort it all out now.
Right. Do you remember that we had a big discussion about this as a group at the meeting 3 weeks ago and we agreed it?
Yeah, and I guess it seemed like a good idea then. I mean, I understood all the problems, but in practice it just hasn't been working at all.
Okay, and was there a reason you didn't bring this up at that point, or was it just not obvious to you? Or?
I guess we haven't really had any opportunity to give any feedback about it. We haven't sort of sat back and looked at the system.
Okay, right, I hear that. Well, there's 2 things I want to point out, if that's okay. One is that it's not your job to have to say no to patients about when they can see you. That's why we have a receptionist. So that's what Daniel's job is. He gets to say no and yes, and he's got the appointment system that's supposed to help him do that.
But I guess my patients rely on me. They want to be able to see me. They trust me, and if I say no to them, if I'm seen not to see them when they want to, what will they think of me?
Well, your patients think you're great. I mean, I have really great feedback. All your patients love you, but the problem is that all the patients want to see you because you're not applying the 2-minute rule on the appointments, and so it's skewing everything in the whole practice. It's really hard for the whole team. But you're doing a really good job. Like, your patients enjoy you, think you're fab, but we need to try and work with this 2-minute thing for now. Do you think if we have a meeting next week, we can try and come up with some solutions between now and then? Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah.
So are you happy to work with the 2-minute thing for now?
I'll try.
Okay, and you're clear about that? You're clear that it's, if it's an emergency, deal with it, and if it's not, they need to rebook a routine appointment?
Yeah, and I'll try and let Daniel just do his job and talk to patients.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks ever so much for taking the time, and I really appreciate the feedback.
No, it was actually good to get some feedback myself, actually. We should
Yes, we should
more often.
do this more often, definitely. Okay, well, let's talk about it on Monday. So, that was our one-to-one. Now, Ganesh is going to take you through some short-term solutions.
Well, I'm here to discuss the short-term and the long-term solutions. As you have seen what was happening in the Keppel Stick practice, I'm sure by now you guys must have deduced what's the problem with the Keppel Stick. The solution to this are both long-term and short-term. I will here discuss the short-term solutions, and later on my colleague Laura will discuss the long-term solutions. The goal for the short-term solution, the immediate one on the spot, to diffuse the situation. The goal is to diffuse the conflict situation which happened at the reception area. As we have seen, practice manager Max was so quick. She was on her feet. She just went to the doctor, Dr. Sarah. She said, I want to have a meeting with you later this evening as soon as possible. She didn't stop there. She just went a step further. She went to the patient. She said, look, these are the options we have got for you for the appointment system, for your appointment for the day. And she potentially tried to avoid any conflict escalation. By the way, she also tried to avoid any potential complaints. The key is the patient should not be confused. They should not be affected because of the team's internal problems. Right? And finally, she went to the receptionist, Mr. Daniel, nice guy, yeah. And she said, yeah, really, you're doing a good job. I like it. And she gave her support to him. She didn't stop there. Later in the day, she had a meeting, one-to-one meeting, as we have seen, with Dr. Sarah. She skillfully applied the 3 basic rules management, non-violent communication skills as well, during the meeting. What did she do? During the meeting, she applied the 3 rules. How did she do it? She explained to Dr. Sarah why her behavior was not appropriate. And Dr. Sarah had an opportunity as well. She explained what she thought, why she was behaving the way she was behaving. And finally, she gave a feedback, a lovely sandwich feedback, an approach, which is very useful. When I talk about 3 rules, it's a basic management rule anyone can apply anywhere, especially when a manager like Max tries to get things done from other people. It's not so easy. You apply these 3 rules and your success to get the things done improves a lot. Try that, please. Right, going to the feedback approach, what did she do? She asked Sarah, she literally asked Sarah, Sarah, tell me what you think about this. When Sarah was telling her what she thought about the behavior or the issue, she was carefully listening. She was listening what she was saying. And finally, she asked Sarah to give an effect. How is she going to resolve the problem? Max, she skillfully balanced the praise and the criticism when she was giving her the feedback. When talking about nonviolent communication, how did she apply this skill? When she was having the meeting, she didn't point out any of Dr. Sarah's personality. She discussed about Dr. Sarah's behavior. She also understood what Dr. Sarah's need was. She didn't stop there. She also tried to understand what the practice need was as well, right? And the short-term solutions later today, what happened? The doctors were allowed, whenever they see their patient, they use the non-violent communication tool. What they would do is they just apologize to the patient. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. This is how they approach the patient. Later, they will explain to the patients what the system they have implemented, the new rule, the emergency appointment system. They should understand and show empathy about the patient situation. Before, this was the short-term solution, and now I would invite Laura, a leading country's management guru, to explain the long-term solutions for you guys.
Thank you very much, Colleen. I'm just going to run through the long-term solution with you. And we are going to look at it from 2 approaches. We're going to look at how to deal with the team as a whole, and then we'll be looking at dealing with the problem, which is the appointment system. Now we're going to look at the team, and the goal here is to address the issue of team working. The team as a whole has to reflect and clarify for themselves. They need to look at the aim for the team using the 3 rules. My colleague has already run through the 3 rules already. But they need to look at it as a team, not only as a manager, everybody in the team has to use this to improve their team working practice. Everybody has to understand your roles, just like we found emphasizing that Daniel, the receptionist point, is to give out appointments, the doctors to see patients using the new system, the practice manager is there to enable, to support, and to challenge the team. And then also, the practice manager needs to understand the personality types of her team makeup. Some team members are extroverts, they will say a lot, like she said. One of the doctors, Dr. James, is really on it. You can see the two other doctors are already implementing the new system. But like we found out when we go through reflecting on how she looked at it, when we looked at the root causes, she thought Dr. S is not able to voice her experience. Maybe she's an introvert. So in that way, she has to understand the team makeup, understand team relationship, and apply it when she's working individually with her team members. The team as a whole has to establish clear operational procedures to avoid similar conflicts happening in the future. In health organization, there's always going to be changes. There's always going to be health reforms. New things are going to be introduced. So they have to be very proactive in their planning. They don't have to wait on problems arise before they solve them. They have to think of what alternatives, how we're going to cope if this comes up. And they also have to be engaging in giving constructive feedback. Constructive, we say. You can see the team makeup is a friendly bunch. Everybody has a friendly approach. And when the people are too friendly, they're kind of afraid for giving constructive feedback. You know, when giving criticism in a way that not hurting, they think, oh, I don't want to hurt my colleague, so I don't want to say it and keep quiet. But no, the team should be encouraged to be transparent, open, and the team leader the team manager, which is the practice manager, has to take the lead. We can see the scenario. Dr. Sarah was really happy that she was given this feedback. And then the use of the 5 whys to establish the root cause of the team. We can see that being used in the scenario. The practice manager sat back and reflected, why is this happening? And then she came to the conclusion, maybe it's her management style, maybe it's the structure of the meeting. And it's very important, the 5 whys, because it helps you see the root cause and establish relationship between problems. Because not just one problem, you could have other things causing problems in the team. We'll look at the plan. As we said earlier, the goal is not just for the team as a whole. We had a problem, which is the appointment system. We're going to address it. The team has to be addressing that in the meeting. They have to consider whether new appointment system is the right one. And how do they go about this? They have to make a decision if they're going to continue on the plan. They need to, they have to have clear time frames. And they have to use, it's a new thing, so they have to be able to manage this change. They have to use all the strategic approach we have in managing change. Evaluation, very important. We saw that was not really done in a bit of it. They kind of didn't really evaluate and see how everybody was committed to. If they had done that earlier on, they would have been able to pick up that Dr. Sarah wasn't actually following on, and they would have followed on and see how they could help and diffuse the problem from an earlier onset. If the decision is not to continue with the plan, they need to come up with alternative, being proactive. How best can we do it? We saw that being played out. Dr. Sarah was asked, you're going to help us come up with solutions. So it's not only the practice manager taking everything on board, they have to involve the team. They have to come together and see how they can come up with alternatives in solving this problem in the long run. It's important to move from a domain of chaos. You can see what happened. It was a bit chaotic. We have to go to the domain of known, and the whole team have to go along with it. They have to know the cause of the problem, how are they going to solve it. The doctors, the staff, and the patients. Everybody has to know what's happening in the practice, because that would help a good working team relationship. They have to, every new system that comes in, they have to make adequate information, display this information, give out letters early on time. Everybody should know about everything. Posters, use the media system by announcing it, put at the receptionist, poster there, so when people come queuing, they can see it before they start asking. And all the staff should display the plan and facilitating it. So it's not just the practice manager or receptionist, Dr. S, Dr. Natalie, and Dr. James. We've talked of so many theories. The 5 whys, the 3 rules, NVC. We had a transition. All these theories apply to this scenario. But for us, we utilize mainly the 3 rules, 5 whys, and the NVC, which is non-violent communication skills. Okay, we have to just go back and see what has changed by looking at through the 5 whys.
Hello, good morning. How can I help you today?
Yes, I want to see Dr. Sarah.
Dr. Sarah is not available at emergency appointment today. Would you like to see another doctor?
No, I want to see Dr. Sarah, please.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Good morning, Diana. How are you going?
Oh, hello, Doc. I'm fine.
I just have to speak to Daniel about something.
Okay. All right.
You just wanted me to sign that script? No
Yeah.
worries. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, thanks. Now I'm sure Daniel will sort you out with an appointment to see someone today. All right.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing
Okay,
you
okay.
seeing you soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think I remember I received that thing. So, with your
I'm really
notice,
sorry,
when-
there's a new system in place.
Yeah, I got a letter
That's
now.
good.
Yeah. So when is the earliest time I can see her?
Okay, sorry, just let me check.
Okay.
Dr. Sarah's next available appointment is on Monday, 1 p.m.
Is
next
it the
week.
earliest?
That's the earliest I can do
Okay,
for you.
okay.
Is
That's
that all right
fine.
for
That's
you?
fine. That's
Okay, that's
fine.
good. I'll book you in for
Thank
that
you.
then.
See you on Monday
See you,
then.
yeah.
Bye.
How's it going, Daniel? I've just been out buying cakes for this meeting.
Okay.
I've got loads of chocolate donuts, so
Sounds yum.
yeah, it's going to be a bit decadent. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, everything's going well.
Oh, that's brilliant. I'm really glad about that.
Okay, that's good. The system is working so well now. Now I can see a change in management. Thanks, Max, for sorting everything out.